In this video, I am going to show you how I make this awesome flat-bottomed pod bag. I have already cut out my pattern pieces, and I'm using a cotton mushroom fabric for the lining and a gray linen blend for the outside. This bag style is great because it is all one piece, so you do not have to sew a loop to hang it from. This also makes it extra strong. Since the side pieces have to fit around the curves in the front and back pieces, I am going to clip the edges so it is easier to work the fabric around the curves. The pattern has guides, but you don't have to follow them exactly. Be careful not to clip outside your seam allowance, though. I'm going to clip both sides of the side piece since it is sewn to the front and the back piece. Now I'm going to clip around the curves on the front and back pattern pieces. First, I'm going to make a small notch in the middle, so I can line that up easily with the side piece when I pin them together. The pattern has guides, but again, you don't have to follow them exactly. Just go around the curve, and it will be fine. I like to space them about a 1/4 inch apart, and each clip is less than 1/4 inch long, so I don't cut beyond my seam allowance. Now I need to sew my side pieces together so that I have one long piece. Here I have the mushroom lining fabric. This is a good place to insert a clothing label if you have one. To pin the front piece to the side piece, lay the side piece right side up and line up the notch in the front piece with the seam in the side piece. Pin the top edge of the front piece to the side piece and pin the edges. Work around the curve loosely, being careful not to pull or tug on the fabric too much. When you have both sides pinned, sew around the edge. Do the same for the back piece. You'll repeat all of these steps for your outside fabric pieces. I like to line up the straight edges for pinning and then pin the curve last. Some fabrics have a little more give than others, and you may find that you have to adjust your pins to get everything to match up. Sewing around the curve is a little tricky, and it helps to stop and move the folds in the fabric out of the way as you go. Here I have the outside of the bag sewn together, and I'm going to leave it wrong side out. I'm going to turn my lining bag right side out, and then place it inside the outer bag. Fit the liner bag inside the outside bag, and line up the seams. I like to clip a few V-notches in the curve to help it lay flat. Don't clip beyond the seam allowance. Pin the top edges of the front pieces together around the front. I love this gray linen fabric, but because of the looser weave, it can be tricky to sew. I missed the curve and had to stop and go back over it with my sewing machine. It looks a little messy, but it will all be hidden and the seams will be strong. It's fine. It happens, but it's a good reminder to go over those curves to make sure you didn't miss the edge. Once you have the front done, repeat this process for the back of the bag. Now, when sewing the lining to the outer bag, you are going to sew the front and back differently. For the back, you will sew from the top edge all of the way to the other top edge. For the front, you are going to start several inches down from the top edge and stop several inches from the top edge of the other side. This will give you enough room to turn your bag right side out. These two top pieces are going to be sewn together, and this will be the top loop in your bag. You want to flatten out both pieces. I am really lazy about using an iron, but this is a great place to iron down the seams and make them less bulky. Now you're going to tuck in the open seams where you turned the bag right side out and pin the edge. The seams in the top of the bag can be bulky, so I like to clip the seam and flip part of it to the opposite side before folding the edge. Sew around the edges of both openings, and then you are finished. You now have a sturdy, strong, flat-bottomed bag that is perfect for storing all kinds of things. Thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoy making some of these bags for yourself and for friends and family.